All right, welcome to Landslide News. We got good packages, good stories for you today. Welcome everyone to the studio. And today also we still have Dr. Piper.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, very nice to be here. And my usual, always here, not to go anywhere. All right, welcome guys. Now, Obi always on the news, definitely. And you cannot tell me that at the mention of Obi, that APC doesn't quick. They do quick, even if you don't even mention him. The traction he gathers, you can't take that away from him. Abiodun Ajiboye, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, said Obi doesn't have that sway, that swag that he had in 2022-2023 election. Dr. Piper, do you agree?
I disagree with him. Obi, no matter what mistakes Peter Obi has made, he remains the most relevant political player. There are certain things you can't take away from Obi, his popularity. So if you talk about Obi's mistakes, I will agree with him. If he says that Obi has been a little bit inconsistent, I would say yes, he's a VIP, a very inconsistent person. But if you say
that's another form of VIP.
yes, very inconsistent person.
Because Dr. Baba, every time you come to the studio, you redirect so many things, bro. The last time you told us we are not in a democratic room, we're in a civil room. I mean, my brain don't adjusted.
So Obi is a VIP. We know that. But to say that is no longer politically relevant, it's a lie. When if Obi sneezes, the APC will catch cold. So Obi is still the most relevant political player right now.
All right, Abiodun Ajiboye, I don't know. First of all, talking about Obi that is not talking about anything also makes us to know that the shadow of Obi caused some stares in their camp. Do you think he's correct? Especially, he said, within the Southeast,
exactly.
Almost all the governors have defected, except for Soludo, who we know is working somehow under APC, then Oti. But the other ones have gone to APC. Enugu, for example. Now, do you think it doesn't hold that traction in Southeast?
You see, with respect to Southeast in particular, Ajiboye was saying that the kind of records Obi had in 2023, that he's not going to be able to maintain it. Should he be on ballot again? I think that's not true. One, the Southeast voting pattern, they don't even look at a king after. But even though they were to be conducted at the same day, the governor stands the chance of losing their own seat than for Obi to lose his own votes if Obi is to be on ballot come 2027.
And now, I don't know if I can just chip this in. You see this defection. We are seeing the governors defecting, not their supporters.
Not the people.
Not the people. So it is easy for an individual person to defect, not the structure. So take, for instance, Delta State, where we know that the governor has defected to APC. But if you go and meet the people on the ground, they don't want to have anything to do with APC. You get it? If you really listen to the people on the ground, because in 2023, the Labour Party swept in terms of presidential election, swept Delta State. So even if you take the PDP vote and the APC vote and you put them together, it didn't equate 50% of what the Labour Party got. So that can give you the thinking of of what happened there. So most of these governors' defection is going to test their popularity in 2027, and I can tell you for free that these governors, some of them are committing political suicide because they didn't ask the people before defection. Even those who defected in the National Assembly, how many of them went to their constituency to ask them, well, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Shall I do it or shouldn't I do it? So it was in the individual decisions they made to defect. And the defection, I don't think is going to work. I'm looking forward to an implosion of both the APC and the ADC at some point.
Both parties.
You know,
Both
I told you,
parties.
yeah,
I wasn't
They will
seeing
not
that of the
explode, they will
ADC.
you know, I
implode.
said it.
I wasn't seeing that of the ADC. I was seeing that of the APC.
I think the ADC and the APC, you know, even if we look at their name, they both have just one consonant separating them.
P
The
and Peter
P,
also look
the
alike.
P and the D. So if you ask the ordinary man in the street what's the difference between the APC and the ADC, they all sound alike.
Alike.
So somehow they don't represent the people. Let's face it. All those in the ADC are strange fellows. The same article that Peter Obi told us was too old to run in 2023 is the article that Peter Obi is ready to work with. The same El Rufai that we're told didn't qualify for to be the president of the country is the same person. The former minister of communication. The president David Mark, you know, who is the chairman of the ADC today, was the one who told us that the telephone is not meant for the poor when he was Minister of Communication
under Babangida.
Yeah, under Babangida. And at that time there was already GSM in African countries. And when we asked why don't Nigerians have GSM, as a Minister of Communication, he said telephone is not for the poor. We don't know when he suddenly became a socialist.
But I don't want to argue that too much, because I will also remember he brought digital telephony to Nigeria. But let's leave that alone.
Then it was just for the rich.
Okay, now let me visit one area.
Yeah.
Let's extra Enugu. Let's not forget Enugu. Enugu was the capital of the southeastern state during the First Republic and the era of the colonialists. Now, Peter Obi did not defect to ADC from Anambra. He came to the center, Enugu, and other people joined him to defect from there. That's one. Secondly, Enugu was a bone of contention during the governorship election. It was adjured that the Labour Party won in Enugu. Of course, the court told us that it was the PDP that won. Fine. Are they poised to make sure that they take Enugu?
Well, who are they?
The ADC.
You know, ADC is not. You can't say what ADC can do today or not until the presidential candidate emerges. Because if you look at ADC today, you are not going to stay away from what Dr. Piper was saying. Is it Atiku that is so how do I say it, charismatic, or is it David Mark? Is it Aregbeshola?
Amechi.
Is it Amechi?
El Rufai.
Is it El Rufai? Begin to name them. Is it Dele Momodu? Begin to name them. What is what that came from the Kwara State? The speaker,
Abdullahi.
Abdullahi. Is it Abdullahi from ADC, from APC? These same people are the PDP and APC. They said is not good.
They've crisscrossed both all parties.
They are. They didn't just have a space there. They've now found a ground where to stay, and they want Nigerians to queue up behind them to fight against what they built. So when you say they, that's what I'm saying. So if for any reason they feed P2B, you know the other day I spoke about how they might arrive in feeding P2B. People was almost calling for my head, and I said delegate primaries in Nigerian election. We know how it goes. No matter how you look at, you can wish it. You wish today everybody step aside and hand over to ticket to P2B, but politicians don't work that way. People were in the house before you came to meet them. If other people are nursing the same ambition you are nursing, then you are going to go to primaries. Except they say, okay, let's withdraw for you. They've been working before you arrive. So if Obi could go to ADC to meet these people, people would have argued that it would have been easier for him to also mend fences in labor and use the labor that actually really belonged to him.
But did Peter Obi resign from Labour?
No, he didn't. Clearly, we have not seen his
I'm coming to you on that aspect.
So when you now say take, if Obi proves to be a member of ADC, which we have not seen his registration card, we have neither also seen his resignation letter in Labour. But let's leave those personal politics for him. If Obi is the candidate of ADC, taking Enugu South East, I said it earlier, is not a problem. But if ADC field another candidate like Atiku, they are going to split the votes. At that time, the people begin to see the reason why Atiku is always, contesting every election. Even when, if you go into this, their zoning, because it was Atiku that in 2014, 2015 left PDP because he believed it was the turn of the North. He went to APC before Buhari now won the ticket and ran against the Goodluck Jonathan. So Atiku was always running. So is it a fight of Atiku against Asiwaju that Enugu people will kill themselves for, or Southeasterners will kill themselves for? It's not going to happen.
Okay, all right, Doctor, let me come to you. First of all, you are going to enlighten us on the implosion in ADC.
Yeah.
That's one. Then you are also going to, Okafor said that if Obi is on the ticket, that Obi might not be on the ticket. Now, is there a possibility that Obi might not be on the ticket following the arrangement we have on ground now? Now, if Obi is not on the ticket in ADC, is there a possibility that Obi could come back to Labour? And is there a possibility that Labour could rise from his ashes right now?
Very nice question. Maybe I'm considering writing a book to describe the behavioral patterns of the VIPs, very inconsistent personalities. When you're trying to look, I believe that Peter Obi is he's doing what he's doing deliberately. He's trying to scuttle the pattern. He's trying to make himself look very unpredictable, but it's also a very dangerous game. He has declared for ADC. He did not send a resignation letter to the Labour Party. So which means Peter Obi has one foot in the Labour Party, just in case. If I don't get it in the ADC, I'm going to go back to where I belong. And he's also not thinking about the calamitous, disastrous, conflicts that he created, enabled, and masterminded in the Labour Party. Because Obi, it was not a neutral person in the internal conflict of the Labour Party. So when I say that the APC is going to implode, now you're bringing in people from different parties, people who are not ideologically aligned.
The ADC.
Both the ADC and the APC.
Yes.
Because right now, there is no difference, no ideological difference between the ADC and the APC. The ADC is made up of people who have been in power before, under the PDP, under whatever name or whatever configurations. The APC is also made up of the same category of people who have been in power for the past 20 years. So technically speaking, the APC is not different from the ADC. The Peter Obi that we saw in 2023 that ran on the ticket of a social democrat, Peter Obi resonated with the people because he sounded like a socialist reformer, like someone who is really coming as a political messiah, to save the country, and someone who is opposed to the status quo. But the Peter Obi we are seeing today is a Peter Obi who is now whining and dining with the very people who with the same axis of political criminality. So that's why I said there is no way the APC and the ADC will not implode. I wouldn't say it will explode, it will implode, because you're bringing people with diverse ideology, diverse backgrounds, diverse interests, all coming together. And tell me, how are they going to align their interests? Who is going to step down for who? The obedient supporters don't want to have anything to do with the primary. They see Peter Obi as their Lord, King, and political savior. So they believe that what happened in the Labour Party should repeat itself. Remember, in 2023, there was no primaries in the Labour Party. They just took the ticket and they handed it over to Peter Obi.
In fact, it was Patutomi that was there before.
Yes, Patutomi has been. When Obi came, they just handed it, to
and
Peter
right now,
Obi.
even the Patutomi is saying Kafo that is better than Peter Obi.
Well, I mean, if you put some metrics on the floor, he's a professor. But to be, he's not a professor.
Yeah.
So it depends on what
Peter Obi is a successful business.
Yeah, I understand. So it depends on his metrics of measurement. But that said, if you look at what has happened in the last 3-4 months around P2B, it is difficult to believe and stay away completely from what the APC chieftain said. Obi of 2022-2023 was somebody that was saying he stood against the criminality of structure of criminality. He stood against what has stood against the people. And if you look at the politics around him, in the last 3-4 months, he lost his polling unit. You can argue that he was not on ballot. And people say if you not chop food because of soup, you go chop soup because of food. For the fact that he's voting there, his presence was there, the electrifying current that he used to have, people will even reject APC money, reject whichever money, and vote for him on that polling unit during the last election. It didn't happen. Now, he has come to mix up with those who he campaigned against before. He has also not been able to show the expected leadership quality in labor. You could say, oh, this one sold out. The Nigeria you are coming to rule, are people not going to be sold out?
When you are president.
In your small office where you have only 100 workers, people sell out. So you are going to be able to manage them. Your subordinates are going to be working against you. You are going to be able to manage them. That didn't happen. And many people that felt P2B stood for a different thing are not feeling the same way now. I can authoritatively tell you. The voters are there. Know that the voters are still with him. But you see, if at the end of the day, the people that are going to be campaigning for P2B are going to be, I'm not saying anybody is evil, nobody is evil, are going to be Arebe Shola, which is the lieutenant of Asiwaju, are going to be David Mark and co, are going to be all these people that, at the end of the day, that government is not, let me tell you, that government is not going to be too different from what you're having. You might think he's going to do so much wonder. It's not going to all happen like that. But let me tell you, if I still find my way, if I am P2B, anything that's going to look like primary does not. Okay, what happened in Uganda? Even Bobby Wine, or what is his name? Yeah. He doesn't go for. He's not going for primary. By now, Obi would have known those who are going to be polling unit agents, except there is a higher arrangement where somebody like Goodluck Jonathan is going to jump into the ship. And maybe P2B, for any reason, this is speculative, for any reason, have gotten the wind that Jonathan might be coming into the picture. Then it's not sacrosanct that he might run, then he decides to join these people. You understand me? What now? Atiku ran with P2B. How will you be running against your boss in primaries? You think it's going to be simple?
Well, I don't have all the time. Speculative. Do you think Labour Party will be ready for 2027 election?
I believe in the Labour Party. The reason I believe in the Labour Party is because the Labour Party is not a new political party. We accept Labour Party gathered its wild publicity 2023 when Peter Obi came in.
Do you accept that?
I do.
Of course.
I do accept.
Because
now,
most of the time, some of the officials of Labour Party don't agree with that.
No.
Abure said, I'm quoting him.
Go ahead.
That forgive us for fighting Obi as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
He's saying that without Obi, we would have been what we are.
I think he was Obi alright for that, wrote that quite alright.
Yes, but please, I think I can defend that. Okay. Now, because before Peter Obi came in, the Labour Party was actually building its structure. So we can't take that away from Abure. Abure is a good administrator. We can't deny that. He was already building a structure. The Labour Party this year is going to make about 24 years of the Labour Party. So the Labour Party is older than the APC, is older than the ADC. And go and look at the way the Labour Party was formed. It was formed as a party of the people, as a party of the common man, as a party of the laborers, the bricklayer, the market woman.
But they never flew.
Yeah,
They never
yes.
flew. They were still
Yes.
on the ground.
Yes, they were
until
still.
Obi came.
Yes,
Obi
so
gave them
Obi
wings.
brought that wings. Now, the wings is not just the part of the bird that flies, right? You already have the bird, and then
That's
you now
what I'm saying.
you
The
add
wing-
more feathers to the wings.
So do you think they'll be ready for 2027 the way they are right now?
It's
Straightforward answer.
well, you can see the moment I can't give you a straightforward
All
answer.
right, Dr.
It tells
Piper,
you
for the
that.
first time, cannot give me a straightforward answer. We'll be right back on Last Light News.